The Charlotte Hornets defeated the San Antonio Spurs 111 to 106. And I have to say, it looks like the Hornets are turning a corner. For a long time, they've been lost in mediocrity, that they've been really bad, terrible, a lottery team. They haven't even been close to being an average team in a very long time. The last time they were at least average was during the Kemba Walker era. This win gave them a 6 game winning streak. And I thought the stat that was interesting was that their longest winning streak was a 7 game winning streak back in 2016. So they are on the verge of tying the longest win streak in like 10 years. Franchise history, I believe the win streak is like a 10 game or 11 game win streak record. But that shows you how bad the Hornets have been for a very long time. And now it looks like they're finally building something, that they have some momentum going, and they're starting to look like they could be a playoff team. I know Shaq has clowned Charles Barkley for saying that Hornets will get into the playoffs, but I have to say I'm a believer. I think this team definitely can get it together. They're not too far away from getting into the playoffs in the East. Right now, Miami has an 8 seed, but it wouldn't surprise me if they snuck in there. They're not too far behind the 10th and ninth seeds in the East, and they have some good momentum going for themselves. I remember looking up the stat that said that they have like the most blowout wins on the road this year of 15 points or more. So they have found something that's really working for them. That synergy their young core has with Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, and Knipple is pretty amazing. How those guys are just now starting to click and gel, and sometimes it takes a while to develop that chemistry. But now it seems like it's coming into fruition. This is a interesting team. They're very explosive offensively. They've been one of the best offensive teams to start out in 2026 from what the stats are showing. And it's pretty fun to watch if you're a fan of the Hornets. And even though I'm a Spurs fan, even I can appreciate this, the way that they're playing, even though it came at the expense of the Spurs. In this game, it was interesting because at the start of the game, it looked like the Spurs were going to win this game. They had control of this game. They started the first quarter 30 to 26. And then in the second quarter, that's when the game just fell apart. When you just see how it just ended in the second quarter, the Spurs were tied at one point in time, 45 to 45 in the second quarter. And then the Hornets went on a ridiculous run to end the half. It was a 16-2 run that put the game up 61-47 Hornets at halftime. That was triggered by Brandon Miller hitting like back-to-back threes, getting to the free throw line a few times, and that just spurred on that run. Then in the third quarter, the Hornets started to dominate the game even more. They go up by 20, and it looks like it's a done deal. But the Spurs fight back, they claw back, and at least the Spurs showed effort in this game, so I can respect that as a fan, that they competed when they could have just given up when they were down by 20. They cut the lead all the way down to like I think 2 points a few times in the fourth quarter, but they just can't get over the hump to take the lead. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. They got within two a few times, just couldn't close the deal. There was one possession that really bothered me towards the end. They were down 109 to 106 with 36 seconds left. They had possession, and Victor just jacks up his stupid three-pointer. That was like, I don't know, like a 30-footer. It was insane. I was thinking in my mind, why are you just jacking up the shot? Go for the easy two. Play 2 for 1 in this situation. That to me was a really, really dumb play. And I have to say that Victor laid an egg in this game, that he let down his team by not playing well offensively. He shot only 6 of 15 in this game, had 16 points on just overall 40% shooting from the field, which is very poor. He's 7'4". That's unacceptable. When you're that tall, you should be always shooting easily above 50%. 0 for 3 from the three-point line, which is what drives me nuts about him, that he's in love with just jacking up threes at times. Granted, he only took 3 in this game, but sometimes when it's not working, you need to get easy shots. And And I felt that the Hornets punked him in this game. I've said this has been my issue all season long with Victor is that teams start roughing him up, and when they rough him up, it's like he kind of gives up and he doesn't play through it. I thought that game in Houston a few days ago, he showed resilience when they were roughing him up, and he didn't melt down in the rematch with Shagun like he did the last time. He actually showed resolve, played physical, didn't back down to getting roughed up. And I thought he had turned the corner, but apparently not, because the Hornets started roughing him up with their center, Musa Diabate. And I remember seeing him rough up Victor last year when I saw a game in Charlotte, because I live in the Charlotte area, that it was embarrassing to watch last year. And it happened again. Like, this guy has like Victor's number. He outplayed him in this game. He had 12 points on like 66% shooting. Those are all easy dunks pretty much. 10 rebounds, out rebounded Victor, 6 assists, got more assists than Victor, and had 2 blocks, had even more blocks than Victor, which is like unacceptable. Like, how do you let this happen? Victor has to start dominating these guys when they play physical with him, because if he doesn't, other teams are going to continue to rough him up thinking that they can stop him. And I can't blame them, because if you can rough him up and he's going to play bad and he's going to give up, then you should go to that strategy every single time. It's up to Victor to find a way to overcome this, that he just kind of, he is kind of soft, I have to admit, at times. I see him get roughed up. I see him wallow. And then I just see him give up, and just hoping that his teammates can save him in that situation. That he has to show stronger resolve. That, to me, is important, that he finds a way to play through it, because it's not going to stop. Teams are always going to do this. So I think this is a work in progress for Victor, that hopefully eventually he can overcome this type of physical play, because it's not going anywhere. It's just never going to stop. That's the only way teams feel that they have a chance, so they're going to continue to do that. The other thing I would say that bothered me about this game is that the Spurs gave up so many offensive rebounds to the Hornets. They pretty much shot a higher percentage than the Hornets, 48% to 44%. They shot the same three-point percentage. They had 38% shooting from three, Hornets 37%. And they shot about similar free throw percentages, 89%, Hornets 21%, about the same amount of free throws. The biggest difference in this game was offensive rebounds. The Hornets had 14 offensive rebounds. The Spurs only had 6. That's unacceptable. That's definitely unacceptable, and I've seen this issue in a lot of Spurs games this year where they get killed on the offensive boards. Teams get a ton of second chance points. So that's something they need to fix, but we'll see what happens going forward for the Spurs. Their next game is against Orlando. I don't think they're going to play tomorrow, because the flights out of Charlotte have all been canceled for today. So, yeah, who knows if that game actually happens tomorrow. I don't have anything else to say about this.